The Girl on Bikini, Part 2. A story by Eby's Heart. Thank God you are awake. I was beginning to be worried, Bob's wife exclaimed with happiness. Bob woke up to find himself soaked with water and his wife watching him like a hawk. Who was that person I saw before? Is she gone? Bob asked with fear. Oh, you mean Isabel? She is sitting beside you. Bob turned and saw her again. This time he stood up and wanted to run. But his wife held him back and asked, "What is going on? Are you sure you are okay?" His wife asked, pretending not to understand what was going on. "Hello, Bob." Isabel smiled at Bob. Bob started sweating and crying at the same time. "You didn't even care to ask how I was faring after our last encounter." Bob's wife looked at Bob and asked, "Cheating on me was not enough. You still had the mind to invite her into our home." That was when Bob found his voice. "I don't know who this person is. I have never met her in my life," he said and stood up to leave. Isabel laughed and told him to pay her for her services the other night, or else he will not like what she will do. Bob started shouting on top of his voice, "I said I don't know you. Is that how you go about looking for people's home to destroy?" Bob's wife also stood to defend her husband. "Young woman, he said he doesn't know you. Why are forcing conversation here?" She went outside and called their estate security to come throw Isabel out of their home. Bob was already threatening to call the police, dialing number after number. He even called his partner in crime, Dan. "Dan, can you imagine one stupid lady here, claiming she was together with us the night of my promotion celebration?" Dan started ranting on the phone and Bob put him on speaker to further deceive his wife. Throughout the time their banter was going on, Isabel was just smiling. Then she called Bob, and Bob looked at her with disdain. She asked Bob to pay her for her services for the last time. And Bob slapped her again and started dragging her out of his house. His wife was so happy to see her husband disgracing his assumed side chick. She screamed for Bob to leave her alone. Bob did and brought out his phone again and was speaking to a police officer to come and arrest an intruder in his home. He was still talking, while his wife was laughing. Then Isabel said calmly, "I will leave, but you will regret not paying me today." Immediately she said that, she disappeared in their presence. Bob threw his phone away and hid behind their sofa, while his wife opened her mouth with fear. The estate security ran in just then and asked, "Where is the person you want me to throw out?" Bob and his wife were just looking at him and could not talk. Bob's wife started asking him if he actually knew the girl. He denied ever seeing her before again. She called their pastor and narrated what happened to him. Their pastor promised to visit them the same day. The pastor came and prayed and blessed their home to ward off evil spirits. Bob felt better after the prayers. Few months later, they had almost forgotten the Isabel incident. Bob had vowed never to cheat on his wife again. He had even started avoiding Dan and going home straight after work. Then one day, Bob's wife was in the kitchen cooking. She heard their children laughing in the parlor. She came out to know what was going on, but saw Isabel tickling their tummies. She screamed and rushed to take her children away, but Isabel disappeared with their first son.